Hello everyone and welcome to this 6th match of the Clash of the Clans round 2. So once again, Hamburger Hill, and once again I'm gonna comment it quite quickly. So this match is opposing PLF versus PLF, Hi-Ho, Untitled Jareth versus Buck Turgidson, El Booba and Judge Man. So this match being played between two PLF teams has been played quite in a quite relaxed and funny manner. Why? Well, just look at the unit composition. Those of you who are used to Wargame will just see something really particular. Same on the other side. Yep, we've got nation-themed decks. On the NATO side, we have 3 players with 100% British deck. So we've got Saracens, we've got the M15-1A1. Oh, well, we've got the American one. We've got a few, well, only British troops. Some Lanks, some Chieftains, some Challenger 1s, I think I saw some. Nope, apparently not. Well, and on the other side, we've got a full East German deck with, of course, all the advantages and flaws of such a deck. So, what are these flaws? Well, tank-wise, it's quite balanced. We've got the Chieftain Mark II, all the Chieftains, all the Challengers. On the NATO side, we've got the T-72s and the T-55s and the flamethrower tanks. So it's quite balanced in terms of tanks. We've got heavy and medium tanks, and well, they've got the advantage of small tanks with the T-34. But the big difference is, the big problem on the PACT side is the lack of armored commanders. They've got only very light commanders, no armor and 5 HPs. The USZ, well, this is a Russian one. They probably allowed some Russian and some American units for the commanders, of course, but no armored one on the PACT side. We've got armored commanders on the NATO side with things like the Sultan with 1100 and 10 HPs, which is quite nice. The big disadvantage of the NATO force is its anti-air and air forces. On anti-air, the German players have the Selkares, which is pretty nice at short range. And they will deal only with the Lynx helicopter and the Recon Gazelle. So Recon Gazelle isn't a threat, a direct threat actually, and the Lynx isn't really a threat either. It's got only 14 rockets and that deal really small damage, 301. It's not very important. So it's very bad helicopters on the British side, very bad attack helicopters. While on the PACT side, we've got very good helicopters, all the Me-24 helicopters, the German version, so all the LSK, all the Me-24s here, all the Me-8TV over here. So it's a pretty nice, they have pretty nice helicopters, while over here pretty bad helicopters. And on the PACT side, they've got the Selkares as anti-air, while on the NATO side, they have the only anti-air they have are the infantry blowpipe units in the transports here, which are pretty bad. They have no long-range or short-range autocannon anti-air. The only autocannon they have are the Radans, but these units, where are they? Over here. These units aren't really anti-air units. It's pretty slow, pretty short range, so it's going to be pretty hard for the English players to counter helicopters, and that, well, of course, the German players know it pretty well. They have made a lot of helicopters. So here we go. We've got Me-24s coming in on the left side, going to hunt down all the commanders. We've got 2 commanders on Echo, 1 in Delta, pulling back. The blowpipes are getting killed. The LSKs are just charging in. In the meantime, we've got infantry dropped over here next to Lima, and a big encounter between a whole lot of infantry and some T-72s against a whole lot of Chieftains Mark II. And some infantry units also. Over here, the helicopters are still continuing their slaughter, killing some artillery over here. The Radans are coming back, are pulling back to try to save some units, but the helicopters just pull back, kill one helicopter while retreating. The Radans are coming in, killing a few helicopters, but they manage to pull back and attack other units like the Fusiliers, but still are taken down finally, but by some units. On the right side, we've got the PACT army taking control of Mike and Oscar with a few helicopters and commanders. All the sectors are controlled by the PACT players. and well, very few units. Well, we've got only 4 sectors for the NATO army against well, nearly the half of the map for the PACT players. Here we've got a slight advantage for the NATO forces, who are pursuing the commander with Hardens even if they are nearly out of fuel. Some chieftains are giving a hard time to the T-72s over there. A lot of chieftains are very good tanks. Their only flaw is their speed, very slow speed, but they are quite powerful and quite resistant, quite good armor, as you can see right here. So still PACT units dropped in Alpha trying to take down the commander, but infantry have come to defend the commander. We've got MLRS units on the PACT side with the BM-21, quite a nice rocket launcher, even if we don't see it in usual games, because the Smirch is always preferred to these units. It's quite nice to see them in games like these. So Juliet is has been taken back, by the PACT players. Infantry and BMP-1s are holding the line in the forest. The commander is back in, and the chieftains on the NATO side are still trying to push, while the English artillery, the Abbots, are shelling the forest, depleting the FOBs quite quickly. Over there, the FOB is still nearly half, 2/3 maybe full. So it's okay for now. NATO forces pushing into Bravo. The commander has been killed, and the infantry units are able to take down most of the PACT units. 4 rocket launcher units are here. They are being attacked by the transport and will probably all get killed. Yeah, big loss here for the PACT players, even if they still control a big part of the map. But the NATO players are coming back, and in terms of points, they aren't that far away. 900 versus 600. So. And the PACT are spending points, so it's back again on a balanced amount of points. Some tanks sent in as reinforcements, so some T-72s, KPZ T-72M coming in to reinforce Juliet, who is still being shelled by the Abbot artillery. Over in Lima, very few, I would say non-existent defense over here. And a whole lot of helicopters are coming in. The commander sees that and flees as fast as he can. The ME-8 TVK LSK are coming in, kill the commander. A second one is here and is pulling back. The links are arriving, but the commander is still killed at the last minute by the ME-8 TVK LSK. My god. Echo and Juliet, still a big fight between those two sectors. Still the rocket launcher, the RM-70s this time, shelling the Echo sector, and the FOB is already depleted. Still these infantry and big tank army. We've got the Chieftain for the Challenger 1s, but unfortunately we've got BMP 1s, Malyutkas coming in, and a lot of ATGMs take down the Challenger 1s and a big part of the Chieftain army. So a nice front line stabilized here for the NATO players. They have managed to kill most of the helicopters, but this time the PACT army players are changing their strategy and recruiting a whole lot of light tanks, the T-34s. Very bad tank by the time at that time period, but one of the stars of World War II. But well, pretty bad in this game. The only advantage is to be very numerous and very cheap, 15-point tank. So Echo has been lost by the NATO players. The commander has pulled back, and the commander in Echo is being attacked by a Lynx, how do you say? But still survived. He got shelled by the Abbot artillery. And for now, well, the NATO forces are coming back a little. Even if the PACT have a bigger income, NATO forces are able to take down a few commanders like the one in Gulf, and are, well, still not that much far away, even if it's starting to the difference is starting to increase between the two teams. 1500 versus 1000, 600 points, nearly 700 points different separate the two teams. It's going to be very hard for the NATO players, who are still trying to shell every damn thing they see. And we've got a huge snake coming in here, a huge army of T-55s. Looks like the PACT players have spent a lot of points in the tanks, and even with these points spent, they still have a 500-point advantage over the NATO players. These T-55s are coming in into Echo. The Sultan is pulling back, and over here also the Sultan is pulling back. A huge tank force just rushing It's not a very serious game, it's more of a fun game. RDA versus British Army. And British Army having quite a beating right now. 70% reach for the Pact forces, and the commandos in Charlie are pulling back. We've got a few Challenger 1 reinforcements coming in, but will they arrive in time? 2 of them have arrived just here, but getting shot at by this huge T-55 army that doesn't even stop. They kill the 2 Challenger 1s here. 4 of them are still present here, but get killed by the T-55s passing by. Over here the commanders have regrouped, and well, they're gonna have a very, very hard time. There is absolutely no defense apart from a few strikers that won't be able to take out all the tanks. One Sultan is detected and killed by the T-55s. The other one has pulled back over here, but unfortunately there isn't a single unit to defend the commander, and the commander is killed. Only commander left is in Alpha, and he is pulling back to Bravo apparently, and probably gonna get killed. But the game finishes just before the tanks can shoot at it once more. 396 points for the PACT German players and 186 points for the NATO British players. So in terms of kills and casualties, well, it's pretty even. Only a small 1,000 points difference between the two teams. The big difference is in the command points. 1,400 versus 6,000. 14,000, sorry, against 6,000. So it's more than double the points. The PACT players have really taken advantage of the poor British anti-air units, and from the beginning of the game they just sent in a huge lot of helicopters, and then at the end of the game, when the British players had lost most of their chieftains and Challenger 1s, the PACT players took advantage of their high income and big amount of cheap tanks to just spam the British with T-55, T-34s and T-72s. So that's it. Once again, a quickly commentated match, but I want to move on to the third round quite quickly. I hope you guys still liked it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.